He's an everyman in such a way that, you know, people, he's the guy that most people don't become, but probably a lot of people are this close to being in a defense. Scary.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who have anger and don't know how to direct it, particularly if you're out of work or if you're, you know, one check away from being out of work or being on the streets. And, you know, defense used to work in a defense, you know, contract. Was a defense contractor in Southern California. You know, with the end of the Cold War, we don't have any need. And this is a guy who believed in defending America and supporting it and did his job well. And you know what? He's out of a job. He did it so well. And he's angry. I think there's a lot of people who feel that. And in this script, Falling Down, we kind of follow his path through an urban situation in Los Angeles and show some of the dark comedy and the humor that exists in that kind of situation. Yeah,
there are some guilty pleasure laughs in this film for sure. I particularly like the scene of the golfers, but that's a whole nother thing. You're going to die with your hat on, you know. Because there are, you know, when you start looking at society that way, we are kind of goofy.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of people get a vicarious enjoyment out of, as you say, they're on that edge like defense, and to see somebody who steps over and says and does the things that he does gives them a vicarious thrill. But again, it's one of those characters where you don't know whether you should root for him or not. But I loved it. It was the best script I've been involved with for a long time. A really good part. Robert Duvall, you know, is just one of the great actors. A guy I really, really adore. Barbara Hershey, I think, is one of the most underused, you know, fine actresses around.
Unfortunately, you didn't get to act with any of them.
No, I know.
It's one of those movies that you're in with these people that you never saw them.
Yeah, except in the end, the kind of separate, kind of a parallel stories back and forth. And then Joel Schumacher, our director, we did Flatliners together, and so I've known him for a long time. So it was great. It was nice to be able to have a good role like this.
What kind of guy are you when you're making a film? I mean, is it kind of, you're in a character that's rather directed like this man, are you pretty much that way all the time, or you just cut it on like a light?
I don't know if I cut on like a light, but I do know I'm working. I'm pretty focused, pretty concentrated. I don't generally see a lot that's going on around me. You get kind of a sense of the rhythm of when you're called or when you're needed. You kind of know how to pace yourself. I used to stay in it all the time earlier in my career. Now I know it exhausts you. You can't do that. I like to step out and once you got the character down, your first couple of weeks are usually harder as you begin to hone them once you kind of got it. Falling Down was great because you had, like, you know, each scene was like had a beginning, a middle, and an end. You'd walk into one environment and you'd do it and then get out. And it's easier when it's good. Like Falling Down, the material is good, when the actors are good, it just makes it a lot easier. You don't have to try as hard because it's right there on your plate.
When you do